Hello, this is Danielle. In this video, I am going to discuss how to write a standard research abstract. In doing so, I will define what an abstract is, what the components are, and how they are sequenced in a paragraph. I will also show sample abstracts to guide us in our discussions. Writing an abstract is like selling research paper or articles to readers for journal publications. Just like advertising movies to be blockbusters in cinemas to generate huge revenues, movie productions release trailers. The same is true with selling products. Manufacturing companies release ads in different platforms and write enticing packaging literature to convince customers to buy their products. When a student writes a thesis or dissertation, or a professional do a research in his field, or a scholar submits an article to a journal, he will write a research abstract, the trailer of his paper, the ads of his article. The abstract is found at the beginning of a paper, but it does not mean it is written first. It is actually written after the research writing itself has been done. One cannot write an abstract if he or she has not yet completed the whole research, because the contents of the abstract is a little of everything, so to speak, of the basic parts of the paper. It is the abstract that lets the readers get the gist of a paper quickly. Reading the abstract will make them to decide whether they will carry on reading or not. Abstract helps reader to decide if they should read the whole article. In the world of scholars, time is very important. They will not spend some of those if they do not see something interesting in your paper. Hence, it is very crucial to write a powerful abstract to convince them that your paper is something worth spending precious time. Abstract is one of the most important parts of any academic or professional paper. This concise text functions as a synopsis of a paper's content. It is designed to briefly summarize the key information contained in the paper without providing too much detail. Abstract as a tiny piece of writing. The writer must use some tips and tricks to make every word count. As opposed to its brevity, the abstract contains 5 significant components, basically the major parts of the research paper: the introduction or background of the study, the purpose or aim, methodology, the results or findings, and finally, the conclusion. These components of abstract must be put together in a paragraph or two in a prescribed sequence. One may find it hard to condense this part into a paragraph or two consisting of 200 to 300 words. For abstract following the APA style, abstract should consist between 150 to 250 words. The exact count of words, however, still differ from journal to journal. There are 4 types of abstract. One is the critical abstract, the descriptive abstract, the highlight abstract, and the informative abstract. The most common of them is the informative abstract. It is widely used by most research publications. So this is what I'm going to discuss. As to the format, there are two kinds: the structured format and the paragraph format. Structured format contains label of the elements of the abstract, namely the background, purpose, methods, results, and conclusion, while paragraph format coherently combines elements in sentences into a paragraph. Paragraph format is more common and is widely used. So again, I will discuss on this format. The first component of an informative abstract is the introduction, or the background of the study. This one sets the context. In writing so, give a brief background about the study. It should highlight the main issue your study is addressing, and it should be 1 to 2 sentences only. Here is a sample introduction of the abstract by Masiluniana Motsiki. The title of his research is Managing Ill Discipline Among Learners in Disadvantaged Schools. The management of ill discipline among learners has become a serious challenge for teachers. So this gives us a context about the study. The misbehavior of students in the school has become a challenge for teachers. Next is the purpose or aim. This section contains the primary purpose of the study, or the objectives of the study. It states the full objective of the research. In writing abstract, express the purpose of the research in 1 or 2 sentences right after the introduction. That's the introduction, and here comes the purpose. This article reports on a study conducted to determine how teachers in primary school of the Matjabing Municipality Free State in South Africa manage ill discipline among learners. The purpose is to determine how teachers manage ill discipline among learners. This sentence tells the researcher the purpose of the study is to determine how teachers manage learners' misbehavior. The third one is the methodology. This is a sentence or 2 about the methodology. An abstract of a specific work may include specific models or approaches used in the larger study. Other abstract may describe the types of evidence used in the research. In this section, the writer clarifies the method used, whether it is quantitative, qualitative, analytical, mental, numerical, or etc. Here's an example. A mixed method approach, which comprised a questionnaire and semi-structured interviews, was used to collect data. 16 teachers completed the questionnaire, and 8 of them were also interviewed. It is stated in this sentence that the researcher used mixed method approach. He also uses questionnaire and semi-structured interviews, and he also included the participants, the subject, 16. Teachers. The fourth element of the abstract is the findings or result. The idea of the sentence in the section answers the questions like, what did you learn? What did you find out? Or what did you prove? In writing, just capture or highlight the main results only. Avoid too much details. No lengthy discussion here. You may add brief inference or implications. It could be 3 to 5 sentences. Here is a sample findings or result. The results revealed that the majority of the participants applied approved or unacceptable measures of managing ill discipline, such as talking politely to learners, chasing learners out of the classroom, and involving the principal and parents. However, some of the participants applied unapproved or illegal measures of disciplining learners, such as inflicting corporal punishment, swearing at the learners, and pinching learners. The participants who applied the unapproved or illegal measures of disciplining learners reported that these measures were more effective than the approved measures. All the participants reported that although the approved measures were unhelpful in maintaining the environment conducive for effective teaching and learning, they were all compelled to apply them. So there is the major findings that the approved or acceptable measures such as talking politely to learners, chasing out of the classroom, and involving the principal and learners. The fifth and the last part of the abstract is the conclusion or recommendation. You have now the results, and so what? Provide a super brief version of your findings, and then provide inference and implications of the findings. State it on 2 or 3 sentences only. The training of teachers in the approved disciplinary practices, as well as the involvement of parents in learner discipline, are recommended. So upon considering the results, the researcher concluded and recommended that there will be training for teachers. So we arrived at a paragraph standard research abstract. After the abstract follows the keyword. The purpose of keyword is simply to make the paper more searchable and easily accessible online or in a journal database. To choose the keyword, use words that clearly describe the main topic of the paper. The conventions in writing this is the keyword is indented. The word keyword is italicized. The rest of the words are not and are written in lowercase unless it is a proper noun. There is no sentence punctuation after the keyword. So this is the whole abstract of the research work entitled Managing Ill Discipline Among Learners in Disadvantaged Schools by Masuluniana Mutsuki. Below the abstract, you find here the keywords. The keywords he or she included are corporal punishment, disadvantaged background, learner discipline, and African families. Here is another sample keyword of an abstract. Here are some points to remember in writing the abstract. First, every journal has its own abstract style. Before you finalize your abstract, check the author guidelines of the journal you want to submit your paper to, and read some abstract from the journal's published papers. Follow the journal style. Most abstracts are between 100 to 250 words only. How to write a standard research abstract. Identify the issue your paper hinges on. Second, identify and write out the major objectives or hypotheses. Select key sentences and phrases from your methodology section. Identify the major results from your results section, and arrange the sentences and phrases selected in the steps into a single paragraph in following sequence: introduction, purpose, methods, results, and conclusions. Make sure that this paragraph does not contain new information that is not present in the paper. Do not include abbreviations or group of names, a discussion of the previous literature or reference citations, unnecessary details. Remove all extra information and then link your sentences to ensure that the information are well connected and flows well. Preferably in the following order we have already discussed. Confirm that there is consistency between the information presented in the abstract and the paper. Ask colleagues to review and check your abstract if the purpose, methods, and conclusions of the study are clearly stated. Check if the final abstract meets the guidelines of the target journal. Link your sentences to ensure that the information are well connected and flows well. A good paragraph of an abstract flows smoothly from one sentence to another. Abstract should be written in a concise but complete sentences. Use the past tense of the verb since abstract is written last or after the research has already been done. Use the active voice of the verb unless using the passive voice would make the sentence more concise, or if the object of the verb must be written first. What to avoid? Lengthy backgrounds, redundant phrases, unnecessary adverbs, and objectives and repetitive information that would compromise the length of your abstract. Avoid also acronyms or abbreviations. Reference to other literature. Using ellipticals or incomplete sentences. Jargons or terms that may be confusing to the reader. Any sort of image, illustration, figure, or table or reference to them. Avoid abstract that read like a table of contents in a sentence form. For example, like this: the problem discussed in the study is, the purpose of the study, blah blah blah. The method used is, the results show that, the implication, blah blah blah. These expressions, aside from lacking coherence, does not appeal to readers because of the monotony of the sentences. That is all. Thank you. I hope you learned something from this video. Bye bye.